Hello, I'm back. I've been working hard behind the scenes and I'm giving my videos a new look. I always find it difficult to project energy across in my videos, and that's partly because I'm new to YouTube and being stood in front of a camera. But also, the information that I put across is important and factual, and I don't always feel like I can put a funny spin on things. So I thought what I could do is update my background, make it a bit more interesting, and the screen will be useful because I can then place key points on that from the content of my video to help you remember and hopefully learn from it. Do you like the new setup? Do you not like it? Comments below. Now let's get on with the video. HMO stands for Housing Multiple Occupation. They used to be referred to as multi-lets or house share, as the property is shared by a number of unrelated people on a room basis. In this video, I'll talk about why they're so popular. I'll give a brief overview of the advantages and disadvantages of investing in an HMO, and I'll also provide a couple of useful links to resources so you can find out more about them if you're interested. Hi, I'm Andy Walker from Monoperty.com, where I blog online about my journey as a property investor and landlord, sharing what works for me and what doesn't to help you start or expand your property portfolio. I have 2 HMOs and I've gained a lot of knowledge, but I don't know it all. There's a lot to learn. I could release a number of videos on the subject of HMOs, and I probably will over time, so this video is simply an introduction. I'm learning all the time and I plan to invest in more HMOs in the future, as well as single let properties. First of all, let's look at the advantages and find out why they're so popular amongst investors. They can produce an excellent cash flow and a higher return on investment compared to a single let. As an example, a typical 3-bedroom property costing $90,000 to buy could let, say, for £600 per calendar month. But as an HMO, it could command £80 per room per week, totaling £960 per calendar month. And if the property has 2 reception rooms, it's possible that one or both of those rooms could be used as a 4th or 5th bedroom, provided they meet the requirements, and the property would then command £1,280 or £1,600 per calendar month. Also, demand has increased with the rise of many universities, and because young people like to have their own living space. HMOs are great rentals for young working professionals because they're not as expensive as a single let, and it will allow them to save a deposit for them to buy their own home in the future while still enjoying their own living space. So as an investor, you can see the attraction. So why isn't everybody doing this? Because I know investors who haven't got and don't want an HMO. Well, let's look at the criteria and the disadvantages. First of all, you may require a licence. There are licensable and unlicensed HMOs. An HMO is defined as 3 or more unrelated people living under the same roof who share facilities like the bathroom and kitchen. A licence is required if you're letting a large HMO, and a property is defined as large if all the following apply. It's rented to 5 or more unrelated people, it's at least 3 stories high, and the tenants share toilet, bathroom or kitchen facilities. But look at this, even if your property is smaller and rented to fewer people, you may still need a licence depending on the area, so you will need to check with the City Council. I'll place a link in the description which will take you to the government website for more information. Now, not every property is suited to being an HMO. Location is key, and in addition to licences, some city councils have introduced planning policies for HMOs to help improve safety and prevent certain areas from becoming overpopulated. So as an investor, this requires additional work on your due diligence when researching a potential investment and having an understanding of the requirements for your chosen area. Location is also tight, and what I mean by that is if a managing agent tells you that a specific area is good for HMOs, then you should stick to that area. Don't be tempted to walk a few streets around the corner where you may find slightly cheaper properties, because the chances are, if you purchase one, you'll struggle to find tenants once you have control of that property. Next up is mortgages. There are fewer mortgage products for HMOs compared to standard buy-to-lets, and they can be more expensive, not all, but some. There is a bigger risk to the lender for various reasons compared to a single let, which is why you'll find some products more expensive. HMOs are typically let fully furnished, which means you as a landlord and investor will need to provide all the furniture and the appliances, which will require a bigger outlay from your pocket at the start. Management fees can be higher. Some HMOs have a number of tenants on one contract, other HMOs have a number of tenants on separate contracts. If the tenants are on separate contracts, you can expect to pay more in management fees because there'll be more work for the managing agent. I have one licensed and one unlicensed HMO. The unlicensed HMO is occupied by students under one contract, and I pay the managing agent 5% plus VAT. And my licensed HMO is occupied by working professionals who all have their own separate tenancy agreement, and I pay my managing agent 10% plus VAT. You're going to have high running costs on your utility bills for your gas, electric and water because you'll have more people at the property using those facilities. And if you're letting a property to tenants with bills included, which in my experience is becoming the norm, then you will receive those bills. Now, it's sometimes recommended that prospective tenants are given the choice and they'll be offered two rates. So for example, £80 per room per week without bills and £95 per room per week with bills included. But you need to be aware that utility bills are likely to be more expensive for an HMO than they are for a single let. So as you can see, there's a lot to consider when purchasing an HMO, and it takes up a lot more time on the research, finding, the setting up and the managing of the property correctly compared to a single let, which is why some investors don't want to be involved with HMOs. There are two very useful resources that I use if I encounter any problems or if I'm seeking advice, and they are the Property Tribe's website. They have a dedicated tribe for HMO landlords and people that have an interest in HMO, and also the HMO group on Facebook. I'll place a link to both in the description, and I recommend checking them out whether you're already a landlord or whether you're considering investing in an HMO. Do HMOs appeal to you? Would you buy one? Do you already have one? Let me know in the comments below. And finally, I'd like to introduce you to a new section that I have in each video, which is where I answer one of your questions. I can't promise it's going to be good, but if you'd like to be featured on one of the videos, leave a comment down below, ask me a question, and I'll do my best to answer it. The questions don't have to be about property. Let's build a rapport together. You can ask me pretty much anything, but don't ask me why they call small oranges satsumas, because I don't know. Thank you for watching. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter, and definitely subscribe if it's your first time visiting this channel so you won't miss any of my future videos, which will all be geared towards helping you start or improve your property business. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video. So what do I do? Just let the solicitor know that the interest rate is changed to whatever it is, 3 point something, but the terms and conditions remain the same. So basically that there's a revised, she's telling me the revised offer should be with me within 2 working days, so hopefully I should get that by close of business on Monday, early as Tuesday morning. So, but anyway, upshot is it's being revised, it's being reduced, and they're not wanting you to pay for it, quite rightly. Excellent. Okay, will do. Thanks very much. All right. Cheers then. Cheers. Bye. 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 That was the mortgage broker.